recently, obviously in October, did Inktober for the first time. So I wanted to make a video showing the Inktober sketches that I did, as well as just talking about my experience with Inktober and how I feel now that I've participated. Like I said, it was my first time doing Inktober, and I already knew going into it that I didn't want to put too much pressure on myself to like try to do literally every single day, because it was my first time and because I've just seen like a lot of people, even if it's not their first time, it can be difficult to do every day. So I ended up doing only 9 actual ink drawings, well, sketches I consider them, and I did like 2 sketches that I still considered part of Inktober, but I didn't really finish them. One of them I didn't ink or like put pen over. The other one I kind of just stopped before I finished because I didn't like how it was turning out. Yeah, so I felt like it was kind of hard for me to find a prompt list that I was inspired by, like every prompt, which I don't know, that's probably normal because 31 prompts is a lot, and it seems kind of like probability wise unlikely that every single one of those 31 prompts you would be like really into. But also, even if you're not into all of them, I'm sure a lot of people still use that as like a challenge for themselves to make something, even if they're not necessarily immediately inspired by the prompt. Yeah, so I ended up following Furry Little Peach's Inktober prompt list, and I really love her art and her channel and everything that she does. But with that being said, like I said, I still wasn't necessarily inspired by every day's prompt, but that was fine. Going into this Inktober, because I don't have that much experience drawing, I really wanted to just focus on just getting into a practice of sketching, and I wasn't really trying to focus on, with my sketches, trying to come up with like ideas, like new ideas or scenes or something like unrealistic. I purely just wanted to practice drawing like things in a realistic way, just to get practice with my drawing skills. I think with the sketches that I did do, I was successful in practicing that. So what ended up happening is that the first like weekend or 2 weeks, well, I didn't even finish the first 2 weeks, but like within the first 2 weeks I was most excited about it, and then as time went on I started like putting that priority lower on my list, and then I just wasn't that into it, so I just stopped doing it basically. But yeah, I'm fine with that. I didn't want to like put pressure on myself to feel like if I didn't do every day, or if I didn't do something every day, like I failed or something. I still did sketches that I wouldn't have done otherwise, and it's inspired me to keep sketching and to keep practicing my skills. And like I'm really happy seeing like these pages filled with something, and it makes me just want to fill up the rest of my sketchbook and practice. I also enjoyed the feeling of being satisfied with a sketch. I hadn't had that in a while, so that was really nice, but I also had to deal with being okay with not being satisfied with something, and with that like just accepting it and moving on, or maybe making a plan if I did want to improve the sketch, to be like, okay, this version didn't work out, but I can always come back to this later, which I'm planning to do for one of them. So yeah, overall I'm pretty happy with my experience. For a little bit I did kind of feel regretful that I didn't do more sketches, but I mean, it's not like anybody's stopping me from sketching, so like that's what I'm gonna do. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye.